right, greetings, fight fans. Welcome to the Wrestleverse. This is Ti-Jean, and it's time to take it to the ring. The fans at Omaha, Nebraska got to witness another exhilarating set of matches that all seem to be building up to the Royal Rumble event coming in the near future. It's going to be crazy, guys. Every minute last night was action-packed, and we were able to see the addition of several fan favorites, including an absolute legend in the promotion, all declaring for the Royal Rumble in the next few weeks. Starting off with Jimmy and Jey Uso, they coming off of their hot streak against the New Day. They don't seem to be beatable. They're looking for a new opponent. They were able to actually start their own fatal four-way match with opponents that they chose. So they set it up between Los Lotharios, Cesaro and Mansoor, Jinder Mahal and Shanky, and the Viking Raiders. So the Usos started off by introducing all four teams and then started the match off with absolute chaos by cheap-shotting two random opponents with super kicks. Then they just left the ring and watched ringside to, I guess, view the carnage like us fans do. So the Viking Raiders actually emerged victorious and have earned the right to challenge the reigning title defenders. And the Usos don't really seem that afraid, don't seem that bummed about it. They actually welcome the challenge. And who wouldn't after the hot streak that they're on right now? All right, next up, we had the continuous rivalry between Naomi and Sonya Deville. It's really starting to heat up, as we saw in Deville's office. So Naomi confronted Deville last night after her interference last week against Charlotte Flair. If it wasn't for Deville meddling in their match, Naomi was sure to have been the winner. But unfortunately, even though Naomi wanted to, swing on her, she couldn't. She can't be touched while Deville has that jacket on. But somehow Naomi tampered with the thermostat, making it extremely hot in her office, making her actually take off the jacket. And as soon as she did, she was right there ready to start throwing hands. But Adam Pearce actually saved her from the deserved beatdown that she was sure to get. But he did actually side with Naomi, agreeing that she did win that fight if it wasn't for her interference. So he's going to let them run it back. So next week we'll see a contender match between Naomi and Charlotte Flair. That would definitely be interesting. Hopefully Sonya Deville will stay in her place this time, and we're looking forward to seeing Naomi and Sonya actually compete against each other and finally put an end to this beef. Next up, Sami Zayn came out and further pushed his conspiracy theories that all revolve around him, everyone being against him. Last week, Johnny Knoxville had announced that he wanted to be in the Royal Rumble, which Zayn didn't really take too kind to. He wanted Knoxville to actually prove to him why he should be in the Royal Rumble, in which he actually responded by throwing him out of the ring after losing to Rick Boogs in front of his future opponent. Shikamaru what is it? Shinsuke Nakamura. There we go. Shinsuke Nakamura. All right. So he also had the opportunity to show up Johnny Knoxville. He made his own title in order to, I guess, embarrass Knoxville in return. He wants to make it so that Knoxville isn't as big of a jackass as he is, whatever that means. But he made that statement true and false at the same time, really embarrassing himself after setting up a really pathetic ramp jump that clearly wasn't going to make it. And then he chickened out after giving fans an excessively long time just waiting for him to do the stunt. Something that Johnny Knoxville would have just did, whether he like succeeded or failed. But to the delight of the crowd, Boogs and Nakamura surprised Sami Zayn in the ring, and Boogs literally flung him out of the ring and onto the mat that he was supposed to land on. So it was still a good entertainment factor. But I don't know, man. Will Zayn ever stop embarrassing himself, or will this all lead up to some kind of redemption at Royal Rumble? Because there's got to be some kind of play here. There's got to be some way that this ends in Zayn's favor. There's no way he keeps taking L after L like this. It's embarrassing, man. But next we had Aliyah make her singles debut, and it was nothing short of an amazing start for her. She faced the 3-time record holder, Natalya, as her very first opponent. And Natalya actually took a lot of pride in her records and announced that she was actually looking to add another record by achieving the fastest victory in professional wrestling history on Aliyah. She almost did that too, really beating the crap out of Aliyah before the bell even rang. It was so bad that the match was almost canceled. However, Aliyah really rallied herself and convinced the ref to continue to let the fight happen, and then shocked the entire world immediately by doing an unsuspecting rolling pin on Natalya, and like right when the bell struck. Somehow she pulled it off and did the impossible, and not only pinned Natalya, but achieved the fastest victory by winning in 3.1 seconds. There's no better way to start her career. And man, that was super humbling for Natalya. And yeah, bad start for her. After 20 years, 4-time women's champ and WWE Hall of Famer Lita has returned to SmackDown. After getting a well-deserved standing ovation, definitely deserved for all that she's done for the sport, she announced that she'll be coming back to also participate in the Women's Royal Rumble match. Back in her time in the WWE, the women didn't have their own Royal Rumble match. So, she's broken down all these barriers. She had to be a part of this. Charlotte Flair came out and doing what Charlotte Flair does, took the spotlight, had to make it about her, and claimed that Lita was actually too old and way too far removed to compete against her and the other competitors in the Royal Rumble match. She also predicted that she would be the one to do away with Lita the same way she dismantled her former partner Trish Stratus, who she faced, and then Trish Stratus is retired right after that fight. It's pretty bad. But Lita responded in her typical fashion, like we always know she does, and hit her with her signature twist of fate, signaling that she is just as bad and just as deadly as she's ever been. It would be completely insane if she actually pulls off this Royal Rumble match and wins, and it would only add to her like crazy, remarkable career if she's able to even compete in the WrestleMania event. Like, hats off to her for even going for it. It's going to be crazy if she does. We're pulling for her. Next up, we had Sheamus and Ricochet show some real bad blood between them in their match. 2 weeks ago, Ricochet actually dismantled and got rid of almost immediately Sheamus's protege, Ridge Holland, with a dazzling kick to the face. Like it was a flip kick right to his nose. Shattered it immediately. And we haven't seen Ridge Holland since. So Sheamus planned to return the favor for his protege and break his nose, while Ricochet actually planned to break Sheamus's nose as well. Unfortunately, nobody broke their nose, so that was kind of disappointing after all the talk that they had. But it was still a really entertaining match nonetheless. Ricochet showed a bunch of agility, just like flipping, just high-flying moves. Sheamus really couldn't do anything about it. It was absolutely insane. He almost pinned Sheamus like 4 or 5 times, very close. But Sheamus's power, it was just too much. And after a perfectly timed bro kick right to Ricochet's chest as he was flipping, Sheamus got the pin. But this feud, it's far from over, man. It'll probably continue until Ridge Holland is able to come back and redeem himself, which I'm sure Sheamus wants to happen too. He can only do so much, but Ridge Holland has a lot to prove for why Sheamus has taken such a liking to him. Next up, Madcap Moss. Man, not too much can be said about Madcap Moss in the start of the year he's had. He's on fire. To the dismay of all the fans that really don't like him, he really hasn't lost any matches since that fight with Drew McIntyre. And even then, him and his partner Happy Corbin really put McIntyre away with a devastating neck injury in the back after that loss. So he's really not to be trifled with. But Madcap Moss faced Kofi Kingston last night, who also announced that he'll be competing in the Royal Rumble match for his partner Xavier Woods, who sustained a calf injury, leaving him out indefinitely. So we can look forward to Kingston being in the Royal Rumble once again. But Moss and Kingston's match was really a tale of just strength, agility, and a ton of experience as they put out a really entertaining match throughout. It was absolutely fun to watch. Kofi Kingston, as usual, displayed incredible agility, but it wasn't enough to take off the strength that was Madcap Moss, who hit him with a signature punchline finisher, and that was it. There was nothing that he could do with that. With the run that Madcap Moss is on, we can definitely look forward to seeing him as a future title contender. He might even shock the world if he stays on this streak and might end up in WrestleMania. Only time will tell, but the sky's the limit for him. Next up, man, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns will face off at the Royal Rumble event as well. This is going to be huge because you know that they have a whole lot of bad blood with each other. So the head of the table is actually set to break the record for the longest reigning Universal Champion in history on Sunday. He's going to beat Brock Lesnar's record, which is already something that's commendable. But Seth Rollins isn't really that impressed, man. He actually claimed that Roman Reigns' accolades are not as impressive when you actually look at how he got them. Rollins actually points out that Reigns has consistently needed the help of people around him to get to where he is today, while Seth Rollins himself has had to literally work on his own for everything that he's achieved. You can't deny what he's saying. Like, the validity of that statement alone is undeniable. And it clearly frustrated the champ. Like, Roman Reigns really took that to heart. But after like being baffled for a bit, he turned it around and really belittled Seth Rollins and really called him a waste of his time. But he then proved Rollins' point exactly by having the Usos try to sneak and jump Rollins while he was talking to Roman Reigns. But Rollins is too crafty, man. He saw them coming from a mile away, escaped untouched, and just left them laughing. Like, he just was laughing on the ramp, just like, exactly, this is my point. But if anybody's going to pull off the upset, we've seen him do it several times, man. Seth freaking Rollins has the opportunity of a lifetime to really prove why he's as great as, like, we all know he is. So this event is already, like, just like the icing on the cake for how Royal Rumble is going to, like, turn out. I'm really excited for it, and I know you guys are too. All right. So ending it off, you know, we have to do our star rating. So the 5 stars being Fight Forever, 4 stars being This Is Awesome, 3, You Still Got It, 2, What, and 1, Boring. How I would rate this? Man, this was a 4, a definite 4. This gave us a whole lot to look forward to, and it was still just as entertaining as last week, which is a lot to live up to for the promotion. But we're definitely looking forward to that 5-star rating for Royal Rumble. That's a given. So we'll see you guys there. But this is Ti-Jean signing off again. Thank you for joining the Wrestleverse for another exciting episode of Take It to the Ring.